What's up, guys? Here is our second lesson of our statistics unit. I'm going to try to say statistics correctly today. We're starting with mean. No, not like angry, mean, like, oh, he's being mean to me. Mean is a mathematical term that stands for average. Okay. And this is basically what it means. If you have a bunch of information and you want to express that information, but it's just too much to say, then there's an easier way to do it, and that is called finding the average. Okay, and it looks something like this. Let's say I'm having a conversation with Mrs. Edwards next door, and she asks me, Mr. Scheider, how did your kids do on the math test? Okay, I could say, all right, well, first of all, Billy got an 87. Then Bobby got a 62. And then Susie got a 91. And then Dylan got a 27. And then Johnny got a 75. And I could go through and say the scores of every single one of my kids. But that would be quite ridiculous. There's an easier way to do it. What I would do is say, look at all the information, what all my kids did, and I would say, oh, they did bad, or oh, they did good, or oh, they did okay, or oh, they did really well, right? That would be kind of finding the average, right? Taking all of that information and putting it into one simple statement. And that's what we do with numbers, okay? So what I could do is look at all of my kids' scores on their tests, and I could say, oh, well, they mostly got a C, instead of going through and saying every single piece of information. Okay, so that's what we are going to do today. We're going to take bunches of information and we're going to shrink it down to one number to represent that data. Okay, and it's called finding the mean. The mean of a data set is the sum of the data divided by the number of pieces. Now we'll go into exactly what that is in a second, but essentially, big group of information, shrink it down to just one number to represent all that information. Here we are with our first example. We're going to find the mean number of representatives of the 4 states shown in the pictograph. Okay, so what we do is we've got the number of representatives in Tennessee, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 there. In Kentucky, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Virginia, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And in Louisiana is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the question is, find the average number of representatives of these 4 states. So we could say, in these 4 states, Tennessee has 9, Kentucky has 6, Virginia has 11, Louisiana has 6. Or we could give a one number answer that generalizes all 4 of them. And this is how we do it. Take all the numbers, 9, 6, 11, and 6, and we add them all together. 9 plus 6 plus 11 plus 6. Okay? And then once you add all those numbers up, you divide it by how many numbers there are. Okay? And what you'll get is a number that's kind of around these that represents all 4 of them. So here we go. We're going to add all these up and then divide it by however many numbers we have, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. Okay, so 9 and 11 makes 20, and 6 and 6 is 12, so this is 22 divided by 4. And when we do this, we're going to get a number close to these ones, kind of like in the middle of them, and we call that the average. So I did 22 divided by 4 real quick. 4 goes in 25 times, which is 20. 2 left over, we have a decimal, 4 goes in. 5.5. So what we have here, wait, hold on. That is up on, oh, no, 32, sorry, 32. 32. The 32 divided by 4 is 8. So essentially what we have here is an answer of 8 representatives for our answer, okay? So what this means is it's not exactly how many representatives are in each state, but it's an idea of how many are in each state, and it's just a one number answer. So if I said there's about 8 representatives in each of those states, you could look and say, oh, well, yeah, that's 8's pretty close to 9, 8's pretty close to 6, 8's pretty close to 11, 8's pretty close to 6. So that's a one number answer to represent all of them instead of saying each one individually. Now, for a problem like this where it has 4 numbers, it's not as cool to represent, but imagine having a set of like 100 numbers, right? Imagine me being a teacher where I have 120 kids and I wanted to give an average of what my kids' test grades were. I wouldn't give every single answer. I would just give one number to represent all of them, and this is what I would do. Here's the next example. Table shows the number of CDs a group of friends bought. Find the average number of CDs they bought. So you take every piece of information in there, you add them up, and then divide it by how many numbers there are. So you would add together 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 0 plus 2. You add all these numbers up and divide it by 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 numbers, just like that. So let's see what we get here. Let's go ahead and add up all these numbers up top. There's 10, 13, 14, 15, plus 0 is still 15, so 15 divided by 5, sorry. 15 divided by 5 is 3. The answer is 3. So what is the average number of CDs purchased? 3. So you take a look at all these numbers up here, and they should all be generally kind of around the number 3. They're going to be a little bit above, a little bit below, but the idea is they're all kind of around the number 3. And they are, right? 6 is a little far, 0 is a little far, but in general, most of the numbers in here are around the number 3. We use that as the mean, the average. We can also look at dot plots to find this information as well. This shows the recorded high temperatures for 6 days in Little Rock, Arkansas. Okay. The way a dot plot works is every dot you see here represents the number underneath it. For example, there's a 52, there's a 50, there's a 49, there's a 47, and there's actually 2 45s because there's 2 dots there. So what you do is find the average temperature. So we would add up all the numbers of the information that we have. So we've got 2 45s, so it's 45 plus 45 plus a 47 plus a 49 plus a 50 plus a 52. And then we take all that information and we divide it by however many numbers we had, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers, just like that. And here's where you're allowed to use a calculator because obviously I'm not going to make you do all this by hand. So go ahead and grab your calculator. Let's go ahead and add these up. 45 plus 47 plus 49 plus 50 plus 52 equals, and I'll have a lot of kids that'll do this. A lot of students will say, oh, the answer is 288. The average is 288. So again, we're finding the average temperature in Arkansas. So the average temperature in Arkansas over those 6 days was 288 degrees. Yeah, every person in Arkansas will be boiled to death. It'd be disgusting. Just melted human bodies everywhere. Gross. Terrible answer, right? What we forgot to do here was divide by how many numbers there were, right? There were 6 temperatures recorded. So you divide that by 6. So you take 288 divided by 6, and you get an average temperature of 48 degrees. And here's how you tell if your answer is reasonable. Does this number look like it's around all the numbers up here between 45 and 52? Absolutely. So that is your actual average temperature. And instead of saying all those different temperatures in Little Rock, Arkansas, somebody asked you, what's the temperature been like over the past 6 days? You wouldn't say, well, it was 45, and then it was 45, then it was 47, then it was 49, then it was 50, then it was 52. You would just say, it's an average of 48 degrees over the last 6 days. That's what's important about finding average or mean. Let's do one more, and then I'll let you guys get started on this. The dot plot shows the number of runs a baseball team had for each game in the 4-game series. Find the mean number of runs for the series. Go and try this one on your own, please, and then see if you got it right. All right, so to find the average, I would take each piece of information and add it up. So there's a 1 plus a 3 plus 2 4s. Okay, I would add those up and then divide by the total number of pieces of information I have, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And this should give me my answer here. So adding all this up here, 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. Do it on my calculator real quick. 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 should be 12. Divided by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. The average number of runs that they scored in their games was 3. And you can see that it's a good representation of those right there. Good luck on your assignment today, guys. Let me know if you got any questions. Have a good day.